in the game in the fourth quarter. I was very pleased with that. And, New Orleans had so many chances, but we took every punch, stride for stride, and then Greg the leg, 60-yarder. Are you kidding me? I mean, we are the team of destiny right now, just like Philly was last year. I fully believe we're going to win this game.
All right. And I do have some faith. I don't know how much I have, but I think this D-line is going to have to be the deciding factor. I said this a little bit earlier in the show. I believe that Sue and Donald are going to have to get that push. They're going to have to get to Brady. That's the 100% of the game plan, because with that, then you can have potentially other mistakes. So to me, that has to be a huge part of the game plan, going into this game. Now, I want to talk about Gurley here, and who I think C.J. Anderson has been a better running back during the playoffs. But who do you think has been the better running back, and who do you think is going to have the bigger impact on the game?
Well, obviously, C.J. has definitely been, the major factor in the running game, especially in the Dallas game. But, really, in the Saints game, obviously, we know Gurley, he was hurting the team. Missing blocks, dropped a wide-open pass that led to that Goff's only really bad play of the game, which wasn't even his fault. But the defense held him to 3. But Gurley just, you can say he's not healthy. You can say he's not ready for the moment. But there's just really, in my opinion, no excuse. However, I do think he is going to have a big game tomorrow. I'm not talking 100 yards. I think he is going to have monster game. I think CJ is still going to be a big factor because, he's so experienced. That's the thing I really liked about the pickup. You can see, I don't know if you guys watch any of the footage on the sidelines, but this guy is he's talking to every single guy on this young team. So I think that's where he's going to really make the major impact. I think he can get the long 1 or 2 yards on third down. But no, I think Todd Gurley is going to have his one shining moment this week. I really do.
And I think that I think he's not 100%, but I do think CJ has been able to fill in the gaps. My man Mo Cheese in the chat room says, I got CJ winning the MVP. Rams will win. Why? CJ Anderson packages, says Big John B. He has been a huge deciding factor in this. Now, I don't know how many packages that they have for CJ, but I got to say, him running it up the middle is like a bowling ball. It was almost like Jerome Bettis with the Cowboys game, which we haven't seen anybody like Jerome Bettis probably in a while. So this is I picked the Rams to go to the Super Bowl at the beginning of the season. I did not think it was going to be the Patriots that were going to be in it against them, but they are here. They are here, and talk about what do you think Goff can go, score for score with Brady, or is it going to have to be a defensive one game for the Rams?
Oh, I think Goff is going to go toe-to-toe with him. Goff went into Drew Brees' house. And, again, you talk about the calls, you talk about everything like that. Matter of fact is, the young 24-year-old Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees in his own building on the biggest stage to go to the Super Bowl. I really think, I've always been a Goff believer. I know he really had some bad games against tough defenses, Chicago. He didn't play good against Philly, even Detroit, who's not a good team at all. But it seems like, nobody's willing to let Jared Goff have a bad game because of his rookie season with Jeff Fisher. Everyone thinks, you know what, this is it. This guy is a fraud. This guy is a system quarterback. And let me tell you something. Any Super Bowl winning team is going to have a good system for a quarterback. So if you want to talk about that, Tom Brady is a system quarterback, man. He's had Bill Belichick on his side his whole career. They've done the same thing. Get these no-name receivers, just do the same stuff. So if we really want to get into the logistics of it, I think everyone's a system quarter. I hate that. I hate those system quarterback words. I hate that. I think Goff grew up in New Orleans. I don't think he's going to have. I mean, obviously he's going to have pressure. Everyone on the Rams going to have pressure except for like Talib, Cooks, Anderson, and I think we have one more player who's played in the game. But I'm really hoping that the young players on our team, Josh Reynolds, Gerald Everett, I really want these guys to show out because it's so funny to me how the world is like really embracing this Patriots underdog story, dude. Like this is absolute madness. And you know what? The guy Greggo, who is on before me, saying like it's not even going to be a close game. Oh, you know what? I hate Saints fans, and I was glad that I got to eat some gumbo with them. And I can't wait to go up to Boston and have a nice big bowl of clam chowder with him. Matter of fact, he's going to come to L.A. and have a nice big bowl of clam chowder. That's all I got to say about that. He's going to see. They're all going to see, man.
All right, we got a couple of comments I got to read. One of them, we got my man Jungle Brother. He's a frequent listener. He says this dude probably wearing a Rams jersey doing this call. Is that true?
Look, I did fall asleep in the girly shirt last night. The golf jersey is getting ready right now. I don't plan on any sleep tonight, so I can't put it on just yet because I need it to be good for tomorrow. But I'm gonna watch at a homie's house, and I've already told him. I mean, he's a big sports fan too, big Minnesota sports fan. So he knows a lot of pain, just not the pain of losing in a big game, But yeah. So he knows it's going to be crazy. It's going to be loud, and I don't know. I'm one of those people. I have to watch the big game when my team is in it in an isolated area. Mavs in the finals, watched in a basement. Rangers in the World Series, my room. Like, I just can't watch my teams. Usually I have to do it alone. I don't know if you're in the same way, but I just need my space when it's my team. That's emotion central, and I'm pumped. I'm pumped.
I'm loud. I'm yelling at the TV. I'm clapping. My daughter's like, what just happened? I'm like, he just fumbled. And she's like, oh, I'm gonna be loud with you. I get my family involved. I'm that type. Like, I'm yelling at the TV. They're yelling at the TV too. It's a lot of yelling when you're a Cowboys fan. Obviously. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. So we got Tyler Esparza-Powell on the line. What is your prediction? I know you're not really a predictions guy, but what's your predictions or predictions?
I've really gone back and forth through this, and like I said, I do believe we're going to win, but I believe our defense has really shown something. So I feel like for me to say New England's going to get more than 30 is just straight disrespect. Now, I realize Tom Brady is the GOAT. I realize this is Brady and Belichick. I realize they have all the experience. I realize that they're coming off a year when they lost the Super Bowl. That's the one thing that worries me, because it is really tough to picture Tom Brady losing 2 Super Bowls in a row. And, so far they beat the Chargers and they beat the Chiefs, which both of those teams, more talent than New England. They go to Kansas City in that weather and win the game. So, yeah, they do have a lot going for them. But I firmly believe the Rams are the most talented team in the league. I think Wade Phillips is going to cook up a defensive scheme that hits Brady. Brady's going to get hit. And that guy, Greggo again, saying he doesn't know how they're going to stop Aaron Donald, but they will. Yeah, I can tell he's never watched a game that Aaron Donald has played in. This man does not get stopped unless you triple team him. And if you triple team him, Sue and Brocker's going to be all over you all game. Dante Fowler, young, he's going to get past that old offensive line. I'm going Rams, though, 31-27. 31-27.
Okay.
Defense holds up on the last drive.
And Donald, nobody has stopped Donald all year. Now, you said something that I completely forgot. Wade Phillips. Like, Wade Phillips, he may look like a pawpaw. He may look like Santa Claus, and he may talk like he's old and dumb, but he's not. Like I think his defense that he's going to put out on the field is going to be something that I'm not going to say Brady's never seen before because he's been in the league for a long time. But I think they'll be able to get to Brady, and that they have to. It's not like we want to hope that they get to Brady. If they want to win this game, they got to get there early, often. I don't care if you just are in his face with your hands up. Whatever you got to do, you got to maul him this entire game, and you got to be abusive. Like, forget being nice, which we know Sue's not that way. Donald isn't that way either. So you just got to get to him. You got to get to him early and often. You can't play around with it.
Definitely. And even though, I'm confident to leave, we have a really young corner, John Johnson, second-year player. He is really, honestly, I think he's one of the most he's the player who made the interception on Breeze. But when it comes down to it, I think he had about 5 or 6 interceptions this year. He always seems to make plays. We got Roby Coleman, who, he's infamous now for the call,
Right.
but he's really a good young player. And I do worry about Marcus Peters. He showed up in New Orleans. He put Michael Thomas on clamps. You can say what you want. He did his job. But if it comes down to a game where we're not getting pressure and you have Brady up against Peter, I'm not worried about Talib. Talib, I have full confidence in. I don't think he would screw up. I think, if anything, it would be Marcus Peters. It scares me to death, man. I'm shivering just thinking about Peters matching up with, like, Gronk or something one-on-one. That scares me to death.
Yeah, anybody.
But I do just want to say, before we talk about the Mavs, that win or lose, though, I do believe this is not a one-hit wonder thing. I know it's hard as hell to get back to the Super Bowl, but I do believe the Rams are starting something big because, to be honest with you, other than Chicago and maybe the 49ers with a healthy, we don't know about Garoppolo. We don't know what he is yet, but nobody in the NFC really scares me. I think we just killed New Orleans. I think they're done. That's just my take on that.
Yeah, I don't think this is a one-hit wonder either because they're all young. They're all Gurley's in his first couple years. Goff is in his first couple years. The key pieces on this team are young, and they have one of the youngest coaches in the NFL too. So he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Now, if Wade Phillips retires, you may have to figure out who's going to coach the defense. But Wade Phillips seems like he's going to be there until he knows that he has to step away. If there's, you just can't do it anymore. So I agree with you there. Now, on the Rams side, on the Saints side, there is some speculation that Sean Payton could leave to obviously go to the Cowboys. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I would love to see that happen. I would love to see Jerry, get him on the plane, get him in the helicopter, see what we can work out. But Drew Brees cannot play forever. I still think Drew Brees has a couple of good years left, and we may see a championship game with the two of them in it again. And they're going to be ready to go. So I don't think you can count out the Saints just yet, but I agree with you 100% that this is only the beginning for the Rams. So let's go over to the Mavs. Let's get into this Mavs talk. One of the biggest trades of the trade, probably the biggest trade actually. I can't think of any other ones that were bigger than this year in particular. Porzingis comes to the Mavs. Now you have Porzingis, you have Luka. Dennis Smith Jr. is now gone. The Knicks have Dennis Smith Jr. and Frank Ntilikina, 2 point guards in the same draft on the same team. That makes absolutely no sense. I understand that they're ready to all chips in for KD. But talk about this trade. Did it catch you off guard? What's your thoughts on it?
It's so funny because I happened to hit Twitter and I saw Porzingis was the number one trend, and it was just saying I remember reading something from Woj, and this was literally 12 minutes before the trade went down. It was saying Houston, Lakers, there was a couple other teams, Mavs were not on this list, are trying to trade for him right now. 12, 15 minutes later, I pick up my phone again, and I see his trend number one still. But, on on the trend on the phone, it always has like